fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're just freaked out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kiru's show here. And now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Dorzaya, who he is currently facing off in a tournament within his nation's capital. Now, people are observing the battle inside the capital, and the king, he has holy knights participating. Now, every year this game is rigged. Holy knights will take participate and basically take out low-level adventurers who seek to gain money. Now, these knights, they are rewarded handsomely. However, they aren't in money, per se. Now, Midoriya, he's currently taken down one of these rogue knights, or infiltrators to the games. And the king, he was displeased with that. As we do have Midoriya, who he is being targeted by these men. Midoriya, he easily took out one that was level 60, since he's level 35. Now, if anyone's wondering why Midoriya was able to take out a higher level of knight, it wasn't just the fact that Midoriya was using magic and, well, his equipment is better. The knights, they're using common level equipment, or at least equipment that is different from Midoriya's own. Along with that, some of them cannot use magic. They just simply earned their rank through a lot of training and hard work. Now, with that being said, we do pick up with Midoriya, who he is running through the woods, and he actually is currently facing off against at least another adventurer. Midoriya, as he's running, he actually does draw his blade and directly slash upwards as another sword hits Midoriya's. The person actually flying directly by Midoriya as they do smash into a tree and then jump off of it once again. As Midoriya, he does dodge out of the way and go to try and at least throw his hand outwards to grab them. Now, the king, he is watching this, and it is quite surprising. The capital, they're focusing on this one particular adventurer, and they're at least trying to keep everyone's eyes off of other battles. Now, we do currently have the king, who he does want to take this man down and then lock him up. He knows where he's seen this man. He was Oxwell's former slave, and over 1 month ago, he received reports that that man was murdered. And this boy is confessing to this. Now, the fact that Midoriya escaped his slave crest is what worries the king. The king, they've used slaves for virtually everything in their nation. It's what they are built upon. It's how they maintain order and some control. Now, he does want to have Midoriya executed. However, at the same time, the fact that he's a regular quote-unquote human is still very impressive. He believes that the boy, there's a chance he might be that one. Now, along with that, there's the fact that Midoriya, if he does find out how he knows the king, he might go ballistic. Now, we do cut back to Midoriya, as he does dodge out of the way and go to bring his hand up. him directly socking his opponent in the face as they're sent flying up into the air. And Midoriya, he does go to use the second ability to his sword. Him disappearing and then reappearing, as he does go to spin around and send out a large kick. His opponent, as they were going to land against the tree, Midoriya smashes his leg into their back, and they do fall and hit the ground. As Midoriya, he does walk over and actually at least maintain a defensive stance. Him leaning down as he does check their pulse. They're still alive. I forget how delicate people are. I'm used to the large monsters and shit in dungeons. This is a lot trickier. Now, Midoriya, he would run off and leave. And people, they do think that this guy, he is going to win the games. Since he's taken down 5 to 6 people so far. Now, we do actually have Belle, or Bella, who people, they did mistake her for a simple mage, or at least a healer. Some people laughing that a healer was on the battlefield. As you do also have Lee. These two, they were dropped off together and seen as a team. Since demi-humans, they always do this during the games. They pair up together and fight. However, they're always taken out first. Now, people, they are facing off against Lee, as she's using both of her blades and going on the offensive attack. As 3 people are currently facing off against Bella, and they have her backed up against a tree. As one does go to rush her, she does throw out her staff and go to say Fireball. The moment she does, her staff does glow, and she does send a level 2 Fireball spell directly into her opponents, as it does smash into them and then explode. Now, you do actually have Lee, who, whenever she does actually go to smash down into her opponent, with the, opposite side of her blade, she does directly turn and see Belle, as she does shout, "Alright." Now, you do actually have the opponents that Belle, she did take down. 2 of them, they're trying to roll around on the ground and put out their flames. However, the guy that Belle did just hit, she destroyed his chest plate, and he's currently laying down on the ground. Now, she would run over and quickly try to at least treat his injuries and make sure that they're not serious. As the 2 men, they do get angry and directly come in. One of them going to bring a large mace over his head, as he does think that he doesn't even care about these games. The opportunity to kill a demi-human is always something he will, as he's going to throw the mace downwards. You actually have Midoriya, who he does come in both his feet directly smash into this guy's face, as the guy is sent barreling into the ground. And Midoriya, he does then turn around and directly go to grab the other opponent as they break their mace over Midoriya's arm. Midoriya, him looking down at his arm as it does start to bleed, looking up at his opponent, who does just look down at this pointed weapon, since it's now just reduced to a stick. Midoriya talking about how that was it? That was it? You're not even hurt? No. Midoriya does say. Him cocking back his leg and then directly smashing it out forwards to the guy. As Midoriya, he just fucking Sparta kicks him. Now, Midoriya, he does then turn around and ask Belle if she's alright. Yeah, sorry. I just used the magic and it didn't. Well, it was too much. No, it wasn't. The guy's still alive. Yeah. Humans are made of tougher stuff than that, I think. Now, Midoriya, he would show Belle as he does go to bend down and put his fingers to the guy's neck that he's still alive. Her seeing Midoriya do this as she does attempt to do it herself. Her counting those little bumps that she does here. Now, she does ask Midoriya how does he know how to do that. And Midoriya talks about how it's pretty obvious. Or she could just put her ear to his chest. This man, he's quite strange. He's taking out people left and right. Now, we do actually have where two holy knights, they have teamed up. And already they've taken out about 10 adventurers. They have been toying around. And the games, they're focusing on people who are having bigger battles. Well, they are tearing apart the numbers to make it easier to think these men won legitly. Now, these men, they do go through the forest. As we do actually have where one of them, they do look around before pulling out a magic item and hearing about what's going on off of the battlefield. Hearing about how one particular human is causing quite a bit of commotion. And telling them that they've already taken out their allies, this name and this name. Along with that, they've also done these combatants. Now, it's quite surprising, since this is apparently that guy that hurt their friend at the weapons shop. And they do think that this is a perfect opportunity to get payback. Now, they do head to Midoriya's location, as they do hop into Midoriya's 1 mile radius. And Midoriya, he does quickly take off in that direction. Now, the king, he is curious. This boy's done it again. How is this possible? He has to be a demi-human. There's no other explanation. Now, Midoriya, he also does hear a few other people enter his 1 mile radius as he does head in. So, he was dropped off on the outskirts to be picked off easily by that one guy. He knew it. Now, Midoriya, he can at least sense about 15 to 20 people in his radius, along with Bell and Lee. Now, we do then actually cut to Midoriya, where he's directly sitting on top of a tree branch and looking down, as both the men are walking through the forest and trying to understand where this guy is. They were told he'd be around this area. And we do actually then have Midoriya, he does go to bend down, or at least lean down a bit more and throw down his hand. He knew it. They are teaming up. And they have rigged this stupid little competition. Now, Midoriya, he does think, okay, one fireball to bring up some smoke, and then another one to, well, yeah, take them out, or no, that could kill them if he misses. Let's see. Now, Midoriya, he does begin to start making his move. Him blasting a fireball as he does use his weapon's second unique skill, which is a limited range of teleportation. Now, Midoriya, he does teleport as he does also use his intense speed. Him directly appearing behind his opponent as he does smack his fist directly down into the back of both of their necks. Now, Midoriya, he does feel cracks, as he does then lower them both to the ground and then go to stand back up. The smoke clearing as the king does see two men that he's specifically known are trained knights laying on the ground, as this man doesn't look like he's broken a sweat. This is insane. At this rate, they're going to lose, and they'll actually have to pay somebody the damn money they promised. Now, we do actually have where somebody, they do come walking out of the forest. Midoriya, him immediately going to bring up his blade, as he does take up a defensive stance with it directly above, or at least over his right shoulder, and as if, well, I don't really know the best way to describe the stance, but I think you guys know. Now, it's like imagine pointing the blade outwards at your opponent, and then turning your wrist to the left, and then bringing that in towards your body as if you're pulling back something with weight restriction, or weight resistance. And you at least keep the blade pointed forwards. And then you bring your left hand over and onto your fist. Yeah, that actually describes it pretty well. Anyways, now, Midoriya, he is stinging like that, as the person does come walking up, and from Midoriya, he looks like a very strong opponent. Now, Midoriya, he does see this person, and is quite surprised, since they at least are carrying some strange weapon he does not recognize. He can't hardly see it behind their back, but it looks like a Japanese-style sword. Or at least like a straight katana. Interesting. Completely forgot there were other people here for a minute. I was trying to figure out how to take down these gibbering oafs. Very strong. Do you plan to win the games perchance? Yeah, that's why I'm here. Fighting strong opponents is kind of something I like to do. I need to get stronger. Why? Call it personal gain if you will. I don't have to explain myself to an opponent. Now, Midori does start to move in. As you actually have for Midori his opponent, they do actually reveal they have what appears to be a wooden club with metal studs inside of it. And he is surprised as his opponent they do then plant their feet like they're about to swing a baseball. And they do then go to swing it outwards, as Rinky does then watch as they quickly switch grips. The thing flipping over the, top of their hand, and them grabbing it again as they do actually skid up dirt. Now, Midori he was surprised, as he did actually think about it. Him sliding down into the ground as he does then slice upwards with his katana. Now, as Midori does, so he actually does slide under his opponent. As you do actually have where he does then go to bring up his other leg and stop his body. As he does quickly stand up and turn around. As his opponent, they do actually go to swing back around themselves and their blade, or at least their weapon, it does completely fall apart. Now, you do actually then have where Midoriya, he does look at this person. Now, they do just look down at their weapon and then back up their opponent, as they do drop it, and then go to look around. I disarmed you. Don't worry. As long as I can find another weapon, I should be alright. What are you? What do you mean? I mean, what species are you? I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Are you an elf? No. I get mistaken like one for a lot. I'm half elf. However, I'm also half Oni. I didn't know they could mix like that. Well, we can. Now, this person is still looking around for their weapon. And Midoriya, he does just do one thing. Him taking his blade, stabbing it into a tree, and then going to remove the belt that has all of his weapons on it. As he does, then at least bring his hands up. Now, his opponent does see that. Her commenting on how he at least does seem to be quite interesting. A human fist fighting what she is. Now, the king he does think that this is at least a chance for them to take out this very strong guy. And Midori he does look at his opponents. Level 50. Alright. Now, Midori he does go to rush in. As you do actually have the opponent who does increase their physical strength. Using their magic. Now, Midori he does watches this girl just cock back her arm as she does rush forwards. And she does go to throw it outwards. Midori is seeing mana covering her fist. Midori he does want to at least try and take the punch. However, if he does, then that could be pretty bad. Now, Midori he does actually go to dodge the punch as it does directly sweep off of his right cheek. And Midori he does then go to bring his hands up as he does throw his right hand over her shoulder and then grab his right hand with his left wrist. Or his right wrist with his left hand as he does then go to cock back his leg and smash it in the back of her own. Midori then picking her up into the air as he doesn't start to run away. And people they do watch his intense speed. As Midori he does directly smash her into a tree. Now, you do have where this girl, she does actually get pretty hurt by that. As she actually does go to hold on to Midori as well. Commenting about how if this is going to be a strength of, raw power, then let's see what he can really do. And Midori does actually find it to be quite surprising. as the girl she does use her magical abilities once again. And she is actually able to throw Midoriya off of her as he does go flying through the air. Now, Midoriya he does cock out one of his hands, it does directly smash it into a tree, and his fingers do dig into the wood. And then actually going to spin around and land on it, before he does just jump off and onto another tree, and then go to jump down, directly towards the girl as she does go to leap forwards and run. And the two do directly meet in the air. Midoriya being able to actually get tackled as he does bring his hands backwards before he just smashes into the ground. Now, everyone is watching. A human's fighting a demi-human, and he seems like he's winning. Or no, they're evenly matched. Now, the king is quite pleased, as we do actually have the demi-human who does go to cock back her arms and we can start smashing down at Midoriya. And we do actually have Midoriya, who he is, folding his arms in an X, as he's taking the blows before he does just do one thing. Him bringing his arms up as she does go to cock back her hands once again, to send another fury. Midoriya sliding his arms apart and then smashing her directly in the ears. As she does actually go to grab away at them, Midoriya does take this opportunity to sock her, or at least smash her in her throat with the palm of his hand. Now, as Midoriya does do that, she does actually go to then grab away at her throat, as she can't breathe. Midoriya, him then actually going to throw her underneath him, as Midoriya does just sit there and hold her pinned to the ground, as he does actually have his leg folded over her own, stopping her from bending her knees, as Midoriya also does fight with all of his strength to hold her down. Midoriya opening his menu and then increasing his strength with at least 10 to 20 skill points, as he does find that his strange grip, which was shaky, does slowly become more and more firm. And the Oni does find it to be quite surprising. It feels like this guy just grew stronger in an instant. Now, Midoriya does tell her to yield against him. He's clearly stronger. My, quite interesting. And here you got me all fired up. Now, she does tell Midoriya that she will concede. However, that's only if Midoriya he will do one thing for her. Midoriya does stare down at his opponent as she does just say to be her man. I'm sorry, what? You heard me. I've never fought anyone like that before. Especially not a human. Let alone someone who could beat me. Clearly you have the wrong guy. Oh, clearly I don't. I found the right guy. Great, another one of you lost puppies. Oh, so there's more girls after you. I'll actually have a challenge then. That's not what I mean. It means another person who just follows me around. Maybe. Or maybe Midoriya actually going to bring his hand up and pull it backwards. Her going to actually try and bring her hand up to smash Midoriya in the face, as Midoriya just smash directly down onto her neck. And the girl, her eyes, do actually begin to start rolling backwards as she does fall unconscious. Midoriya does get to stand back up. Okay. Fuck. I'll deal with that later. Ready to say. The king looking with his mouth agape, as he does walk over and grab his blade, pulling it out of the tree as he does then go to put back on his belts, and walk away. Now, the games do continue like this, Midoriya dominating and continuing to battle against many different people, along with the remainder of the Holy Knights being taken out by two opponents, or at least, mystery opponents, that Midoriya does eventually face off against. Now, Midoriya, yeah. The games, they do end with his insane victory, as he did even battle off against his student Lee and Bella. Midoriya, he knew that Lee couldn't beat him alone, and Bella, she stood no chance at that herself. She did hold out with Lee as long as they possibly could. However, whenever numbers got really low and Midoriya, he totally took out some very high opponents, yeah. least she thought that she can finally at least face off against her master and win. Unaware that Midoriya, he's grown exponentially stronger in a short period of time. Now, we do actually have where Midoriya, he is then announced as the winner of the games. And the king, he's quite furious. However, he's also very impressed with this man's technique. If he does pay him out properly, he can then at least exchange an offer. Midoriya, he might be the hero who's here, or at least told in prophecy to save their nation. And that is very good. He can end this war they're in. And then, whenever the sides they do both stop fighting, they can band together and take out the demon, well, the demon lord and her army. Now, the king can see the potential. He gets the demi-human nation they're fighting against to yield, and the other human nation in between it, or at least that nation stuck in between, they can ally with as well. All of their routes for trading and communication, except for the magical crystals that you have all been cut off. So, if this all does go down successfully as he does think in his head, Midoriya can be the hero who saves the world. Now, the king, he does decide to take this route. As we do, however, Midoriya, he is brought in and he is actually given a medal. Or at least something that does signify he's won this game. As the king, he also does award Midoriya his earnings. Him giving Midoriya what appears to be a box full of coins. And Midoriya, he does take it. Now, as Midoriya, he does stand there, the king, he does actually then look at Midoriya and offer him to at least join his army, because of his excellent performance. I'll pass. I'm sorry? I'll pass. Your nation has a few things wrong with it. I want to fix that first before I do anything for you. Young man, this offer is coming directly from your king, and I don't suggest you let go of it so easily. You're not my king. I don't give a fuck who you are. Young man, please watch your tone when you speak to me. Why? You rigged this game already. What? How dare you accuse me of that? I've met the first man I took out of the shop. He was boasting about this shit being rigged. Along with that, there's the fact that I know you targeted me specifically. However, let's just say this is one of those stupid little tropes. Your daughter's unaware of it, and your wife, what? She's in on it too? What are you talking about? Maybe it is. Listen to me. What did I say? Him directly stepping in front of the king as he does drop the box, informing him that he needs to end the slavery in this nation, and then Midoriya, he will help him. Young man, that is asking quite a hefty request. Along with that, there's the fact that with how many people we have on the war effort, those people are needed where they are. So I did at least think about that much. Bella told me about the war. Bella. Yes, my companion. Now, Midoriya, he would point out to the king directly in the crowd of people the two demi-humans that do stand there. The king, seeing that they were participants that faced off against this man. And they're both demis. So, Midoriya is one of those who will fraternize with them. Now, the king, he is trying to think. This boy is of extraordinary power, and he's asking him to get rid of something that's been instated ever since he was before he was born. Now, the man, he does stare at Midoriya, and Midoriya, he does just stand there stone-faced. As his eyes, they do flicker red for 1 second. And the king, he does actually go to take a step backwards. as he feels like he's lost his bargaining chips. Shit! Now, the king he does try something. He is specialized in a certain form of magic. It's one that he believes will help him in this dire need. He really does not like performing it, but the king trying to cast, well, let's just say, order magic. As he does bring his head up and say that Midoriya, he will serve him in the Magic Knights. And Midoriya, he just stand there unfazed. Get your hand out of my face, old man. Impossible. How is this? What is this? Wait a minute. Send traces of mana? You just tried to cast a spell on me, didn't you? Midoriya gained defensive as two knights that are on the left and right of Midoriya. They do both grab him by his arms. Midoriya shouting that this man just tried to cast a spell on him and put him under mind control. Midoriya then screaming out to everybody that, is this the ruler that they do want to serve? Is this the man they want leading their nation? A man who runs it on slave labor. Now, the men they do go to fight with Midoriya. Midoriya just tossing his elbows into both of their guts as they do both fall onto their knees. Midoriya then going to grab his earnings as he does then go to stand up straight, telling everyone that if they are all divided, then they won't be able to fight against the Demon Lord. Along with that, with as long as this all does go on, any one of them here in this crowd has a chance of ending up as a slave one day. Now, people they all do look on in shock. Midoriya is directly defying the king, and the king just tried to possess this boy? Now, the king does turn around and shout lies. All of it is lies. As he does order his men and order everyone here to leave the area immediately. Now, this is where you do actually have the princess and queen. The princess has never seen her father like that before. He's erratic and irrational, and he's losing his temper. And she's never seen anyone talk to her father like that before. No one's ever stood up to him that way he just did. Now, we do then have Midoriya, he does go to leave, taking the box of his earnings and this quote-unquote, well, trophy, as he does leave. Now, as Midoriya, he does walk through this area, or at least through the arena area that they're in, you then have where somebody they do directly go to walk up to him and directly jump onto him. Them smashing Midoriya onto the ground is where he does see them. As it's that strange demi-human Midoriya encountered earlier in the forest. Now, you do actually have Lee and Bell who do look at them. Now, Bell does ask if Dorzaya is alright, well, Lee does ask if Sir's okay. You do actually then have where this girl, she does look at both of them. Lee? Or Sir? Dorzaya? What are you both talking about? Now, you do actually have Midoriya who does sit up and look at this girl, asking, oh shit, it's you again. Yeah, it's me. Listen, that fight was awesome. Come on, let's go. Now, Midoriya he does go to push her off of him. And people they do look at this happen. Midoriya going to stand up and he does inform her that he's told her. He's not interested in being, well, let's just say used for right now. Or at least, well, a mate. Now, this Oni, she does say that that wasn't really something she had in mind. Or at least, not right now. She wants to understand how Midoriya got so strong. And if she does use this method, she can bring it back to her own nation and create powerful warriors. Along with that, if she does bear a child with him, she'll at least have a warrior with godlike potential. Now I know he does stare at this Oni girl, or this particularly strange mixed race hybrid, as he does tell her to piss off. And she just stared at him confused. She's never really understood it. She's, well, in love, she thinks. She's never encountered a guy who's able to defeat her in combat. And this guy did it. Her father and her mother, this guy's the one, right? Now, it all does surprise her and confuse her, as she does follow Midoriya and his group back to the inn where they are currently staying. Now, as Midoriya does walk in, everyone they do look up at him and see that it's the guy who won the battle. As you do actually have where Midoriya would take this chest and take it up to his room. As he does take the contents of it and go to put it underneath his bed. Midoriya hides the box directly inside of this dresser or strange cabinet. However, for the actual gold and stuff inside, Midoriya does walk over to the edge of his bed and directly lift it up, as he would stick it down in a little groove he made inside. Now, Midoriya would then set the bed back down, as he does then inspect it carefully to make sure it doesn't look odd. He doesn't want someone breaking in here and taking his shit, especially when he worked so hard to get it. There's also the fact that that guy, he probably wouldn't even have given this to him. The leader of their nation's a dick. Now, you do actually then have Midoriya, he would go to head back downstairs, since he has worked up quite the appetite. And Midoriya, he does actually see where that strange woman or girl, she is sitting down with both Lee and Bella. And they're both at least staring at her as they do then turn to see Midoriya. The girl spinning around and jumping up as she was going to run over. Ask Midoriya if he would like to at least participate in some sparring, quote unquote. Now, Midoriya would just tell her that he's not going to do that. Why not? Listen, come on. Doesn't every guy want to do this? Not really, no. I think you have the wrong idea about me. Fine, what are you going to do then? Well, I did plan to sit down and have something to eat. I'm, well, pretty hungry. Ooh, you gotta keep up those carbs, right? Along with you need plenty of energy. I just explained to you that I'm not that type of guy. Fine, we'll work up to that. Now, Midoriya, he does actually bring his hand up as he does request for something to eat. As where we do actually have somebody who does walk over and set something large down in front of Midoriya. It can be best described as a 5-pound ounce of meat. And Midoriya, he does look down at it, turning to the person who brought it to him as they do just say, on the house. Now, the person would go to walk away. And Midoriya, he doesn't really even question that. Him chowing down on his food as this girl, she does introduce herself properly. Midoriya thanking the heavens that this girl's finally released off of that particular subject. Anyways, sorry, I completely forgot my name. I was so caught up in everything because it was just so interesting. My name's Ray. Ray? Yeah, come on. Okay, now that we've been introduced, how about we... Nope. Come on. Fine. Now, Midoriya, he does just ask her why she isn't going to bother anyone else. As she does explain it to Midoriya. She came here specifically to seek out a strong man. And she found it. Her saying in her own words, she's found the person she wants to bother. And Midoriya, he does just stare at her. As after his meal and a few drinks where he does increase his poison resistance, Midoriya, he does head to his room. Where you do actually have where Belle, she does decide to return for the night along with Lee. The girl watching confused as Belle and Lee do both walk into that room with Midoriya. And she just look at that surprised as she is going to walk up the staircase. And she is going to reach for the door handle as she's all jiggling it. It's locked. Damn it. Where can I find a key? If you break through this door, I am going to kill you. Why'd you lock me out? I still have to come in. Get your own room. If you step foot in here, I will not hesitate to use a sword slash. A what? It's an ability that can cut through anything, including flesh. Along with that, I can hear you and sense you anywhere within a mile radius of me. So if I hear your door creak open at night, we're gonna have a problem. Now, the girl, she is disappointed, as she does order a room to stay at this place for the night. The guy handing her a key and informing her that she does need to leave other residents alone, since that's pretty bad for business. Now, the lady, she does just go to stare at the sky, as he does at least avert his gaze. And she does go to head to her own room for the night, as we do have Midoriya inside his own. The two both ask Midoriya exactly if she's going to be joining them on their adventure. God, I hope not. Why? She's a pretty strong warrior from what we heard. Along with that, it's kind of your fault for fighting an Oni. What are you talking about? Well, they do seek out the strongest males. Their race is particularly strong because they only are ever, well, breeds of warriors. Wait. Slow down and explain this to me a bit more. They seek out strong people of the opposite gender to produce a strong offspring? Fuck. Wait a minute, she's half Oni though. Half? Now, both of the two do think. They don't know which situation would be worse. Wondering which parent was the Oni. Now, we do have Midoriya who he doesn't even really want to think about that. Now, with that being said, Midoriya he would go to lie in his bed as he does reminisce about earlier today. He fought some particularly strong opponents, and he did work up quite the sweat. It was all pretty interesting. What does think? As he does at least sit back and relax and lay down. Him with a full belly, a cozy bed, plenty of money, and at least somewhat of a clear head. Something that is a vast improvement over how last year was, where he was in a cold, damp cell, and he was slowly being starved, and barely even fed anything but bread. Now, as Midoriya is resting and recuperating, we do actually cut over to the castle where the king he currently is. He had to pay Midoriya out of his own pocket, and that's pretty annoying. Along with that, there's the fact that that boy, he's immune to his control, and he wants to overthrow him and redo the way their nation does work. Everything has been set up vitally by his ancestors to be the exact way it is. So, if that ever does change, what's going to happen then? They can't fraternize with demi-humans. It goes against everything he has ever believed in. Everything he was taught and told. Now, as that's happening, we do have where somebody, they are meeting with the king in secret. And the king, he does at least want to devise something to take out this young boy. Or to at least get that money back and deal with their little threat. Now, with that being said and done, or with that being done and said, we do actually have the princess, who she is hearing everything her father is talking about. This guy that she did witness earlier today, he has to be the hero. He has to be the one that's been sent here to at least slay the demon lord. There's no ordinary human who is like that. Along with that, she was actually at least sneaking out to inspect the church earlier today. She heard about how he donated something sizable weeks ago. And she did then talk with the head man in charge after she did reveal that she was the princess. And she learned that he took away this blade that was made for demon lords, or at least made to slay them, as she does believe. The man boasting and calling Midoriya the hero of their legend. Now, the girl, she does want to reveal this to her father. The hero is in their nation. He's finally been revealed. But at the same time, if her father knows about this, he will do anything he can to put Midoriya back in a collar and get him to serve them. The magic her father can use, it does have its limits, but those symbols and commands along with spells, they don't. They've been perfectly crafted for just that. Once somebody's put in a collar, they can't escape it, but this guy somehow found a way. She's guessing that he overpowered his collar through sheer willpower, murdered Oxwald, and then was able to be released. Now, it would make sense. That man has incredible amounts of willpower from what she has seen today. Along with that, he's got plenty of strength and training to back it up. Now, with all that being said, she does go to sneak back into her quarters, as she does want to meet with the hero herself. Maybe she can convince him to at least work with her dad. Then, things can get a little bit easier. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.